welcome in everybody. Gone Racin and Jeff Motley. I'm in studio.
I'm so excited. I almost forgot what you look like, not through the box on television. Welcome
we're still
back.
in boxes. If you're watching the Gone Racin on the YouTube thing, we're on boxes. If you're listening to Sirius Satellite Radio, probably just a better microphone is all you're noticing.
You've done more shows in Florida and Mexico than you've done in Nevada over the last 6 weeks.
I have in the last couple of weeks. Thank you for joining us all today, Gone Racin, with me and Mr. Jeff Motley. And Jeff, we are back in the country, in town. Everything's good. We're at the Dude Wipe studio. I haven't been here in a while, so I had to, got to kind of feel the felt and get kind of comfortable.
Our microphones today kind of smell like been wiped down with Dude Wipes.
We need to work. We need to work on getting some new wave cleaning products in here. Yeah. But anyway, so shameless plug for my own company. I'll take it.
Poor Vinny. He's just getting beat up over there.
Anyway, Mr. Motley, we had in Chicago another, in my opinion, amazing Chicago race. I know there's we're a gambling show. We're not going to touch on the Chicago Sun-Times and all these things. But from a better and a standpoint of watching it, you and I, as always, are texting during the race. It was a hell of a race, man.
It was. It was a very competitive race. I think, and I tell you, I know it's only a small sample size. I'm not sure there's a better road racer, and I mean street racer, than Shane Van Gisbergen anywhere in the country, especially not driving full-body cars.
No, look, years ago when Marcus Ambrose came up, and everybody kind of went, what? We didn't have Chicago and COTA and Road America and all these. You and I have argued for decades now, sadly, about road racing and NASCAR. And Marcus Ambrose came and showed what he had at Watkins Glen and did well at some places. And we remember what he had. And back then I knew about V8 supercars and was like, man, this kid's going to be good. And he turned into a hell of an oval racer and a great friend and great guy. When SVG came 2 years ago, we looked at, remember, I won a top 3 bet with him that day.
He won.
He won
his first ever start.
I had the top 3 bet because I was like, Jeff, I'm telling you, he's in great equipment. He's in,
he probably would have won last year if they hadn't had a problem.
So it was absolutely awesome to watch Shane do what he does, and he didn't have it the whole way. He had battles for it. You had guys pit strategies that came and went. Watch out for that mic wire. I'm not used to that right now.
But they made all the right calls. They did the same thing at Mexico City, while other teams may have had some questionable.
And guess
decisions.
Who else did the right things and had a good finish from it?
Ty Gibbs.
The only guy that had a shot out in Mexico City, Ty Gibbs. Let's get into the odds real quick. We got odds to win. Shane Van Gisbergen, of course, we talked last week. Not very little paltry on the odds to win. Wait till you see this week. Plus 200. He was top 3 at minus 250.
Well, and we said he's either winning or he's finishing outside the top 20 because he's got a problem. No one was going to outdrive him. Group A plus 120 and Chevy was minus 230. All those came to fruition. And then you look at this top 10. This is what I love. Ty Gibbs. I've been high on Ty Gibbs for a couple weeks again. Back on that bandwagon. I said he's been, really showing some sophomore chops of getting things done. Only guy I said at Mexico City that had a chance and bad decisions on the pit box. No bad decisions there. 10-1 for a top 3. It wasn't 10-1. I would wish it was 10-1 because if it was 10-1, I would have made a little bit more. He was 10-1 to win.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Plus 350, I believe, for a top 3.
So, and then Tyler Reddick, of course, the other one in there for a top 3. But look at the top 10. There's some guys in here, Jeff, that we kind of expect, and some guy, Kyle Busch, another strong run.
Well, and look, don't skip over Denny Hamlin on this. Denny Hamlin
needed that.
Did not get a full practice lap in because the car blew up
as he was leaving.
He was pretty much leaving the pit lane. Got no practice. Did not get to qualify. Started dead last on the field and came all the way through to finish 4th. And probably if he'd had fresher tires, he might have been able to hang on to 2nd or 3rd.
He was running pretty hard. Kyle Busch, though, good run. Dinger finally got a good run out of this. He needed that on the road course, especially that colleague team and what they expect of him, especially coming this week into Sonoma where the Dinger's really good. You've been high on Ryan Preece. There he is, another top 10.
He's running well on all kinds of tracks now. He ran well at Atlanta. He's running well here. He's running well on short tracks. I mean, Ryan Preece, I think he's going to make the playoffs if nothing crazy happens.
I had Alex Bowman for a top 3, and Alex Bowman was following Ty Gibbs through the field, the 2 freshest tires. I was all excited until he ran into a brick wall of him and Bubba Wallace, and they started Hasselhoffing, as I like to say.
Well, and anyone who thinks this in-season challenge doesn't matter to these guys. Now, I heard Ty Gibbs say, well, I didn't even know who I was racing. I'm calling baloney on that.
Here's the deal. That didn't have anything to do with in-season challenge, in my opinion. Those two have had problems before. They talked about it before the race.
No, but I think that Bubba would not have raced him as hard.
I don't know.
I
don't know. But what I do know is it hurt my guy getting a top three because I could have had Ty Gibbs and Alex Bowman as top three. I would have been in tall cotton. Let's just say.
In fact, I believe Bubba's team owner was actually not totally happy with how hard he drove himself. So.
Ross Chastain, another good run. But how about Austin Hill? Solid top 10 and his first top 10 in NASCAR. So nice job to Austin Hill getting that ninth place finish there. So that was kind of a nice deal. On our matchups, we had, of course, SVG. You and I said we couldn't believe they put SVG in a group, but they did. Plus 120. And like you said, why bet Group A when just bet him to win? Because he's either going to win
or he's finishing outside
the top 20. Tyler Reddick was Group B at the plus 240. He had a decent group against him, had a good run. Tyler needed that also on the road course. Kyle Busch, Group C. God, I wanted to bet that too. I was kind of right there.
Well, that's where I had taken Bowman. I was trying to give Bowman a little love there in Group C, and it didn't work out well for me. So.
And then we got Group D. Ryan Blaney finished 12th, got the plus 320 win there against some guys that, I had some high hopes. Willie Brown had gotten that wreck right off the bat with all those guys, Austin Dillon and all them. Denny Hamlin, though, from Group E with fourth place finish, absolutely dominating that one. And Ryan Preece right there with a Group E was fourth and seventh or whatever, eighth. And then Zane Smith, your guy Zane, another good run. My guys all got taken out in that lap 3 wreck when
took out a lot. 2 weeks in a row, we've had a big wreck that's taken out a bunch of cars. But Denny Hamlin being in Group E and a plus 330, and he comes home there, and that was kind of the ones where we said, if you get Denny Hamlin in Group E, you should bet him, and neither one of us did. But.
Well, but he had Ryan Blaney, a former champion there. You had Preece, who you've been high on. Carson, who's been running. We're like, man, Denny Hamlin. No, we weren't.
And if you'd waited until the day of, you still wouldn't have bet him because he was starting dead last with no practice and no qualifying.
As we always talk, we do the show so early. That group matchup at the Westgate probably went to maybe even plus 400 when Denny was dead last starting the field. So that could have been even better if you had waited. Standings, we're still 4 drivers, Jeff, from getting 16 winners. We have 7 races left. Here's what I'm looking at. You got 2 road courses still in Sonoma and Watkins Glen. You still got Daytona. And then you have the Brickyard, which, a lot of things happen in the Brickyard. Now, look.
We have a short track.
And you have a short track. We could still I'm still thinking maybe I'm pushing the whole we may get 16 winners. If we end up with 16, I think NASCAR breathes a sigh of relief. But can you imagine
if we got to 17, then we got a problem. And then I tell you who's gonna have a big problem is Josh Berry.
Well, he's only 23 points behind
Austin
Cindric. So a couple bad races. So all of a sudden you're talking, well, man, 1 win. You got to look at the points again. So an SVG would have been the guy you were looking at, but now he's got
2 wins.
2 wins.
That's about as shoe-in as you can be there.
He's locked in now.
He's locked in. He is locked in.
I still think it was pretty cool.
And he's also building some playoff points to try to help get. So here's the 2 things with him. He's building some playoff points, and all he's got to do is get in the top 12 through 3 races, right?
The second round is his.
The second round, what's the final race of the second round?
Charlotte Roval.
The Roval.
No,
just saying.
I was looking at the deal. I was listening to Petey and Baggy in the morning the other day, and we were all talking, the first round is tough for Shane. Darlington, Bristol, and I can't remember what the other one was. But it was 3 rounds that are pretty tough for SVG. But if he can just slog together a first round, get himself into the round of 12, he's got a road course in there. He's got a speedway in there. He's got Talladega. And, he could really legitimately get to the final 8. And once you're in the final 8, man.
Well, he's going to start the playoffs inside the top 12.
Yep.
He might even start them inside the top 8.
Because he's still got more races to go.
He's got more races to go. He's got 2 more road courses to go. Now, again, Sonoma and Watkins Glen are a little different animals compared to Mexico City and compared to Chicago on the streets. But nevertheless, the guy is as good at turning left and right as anybody I've ever seen.
And he won't let him put a camera on his feet anymore.
Oh, really? I remember back in the day, Ricky Rudd did that.
I watched that earlier today.
It was one of the great things I've ever seen with how he was heel toe, braking,
double
accelerator.
Clutching. So that was the era that I grew up racing in, and double clutch, heel toe, downshift. They said Shane actually uses the clutch on the road courses now as a way to stop tire spin. He actually uses the clutch and lets it burn to stop tire spin. And they said he will not allow them to put the foot camera in his cars anymore. Wow. Which, bold move, Cotton. I like it.
By the way, can I just say, since we're talking about Ricky Rudd, I will still say to this day, the biggest miscarriage of justice ever was when he got black flagged on the last lap at Sonoma for spinning Davey Allison in turn 11. How many times have we seen guys wreck? I mean, we saw Dale Earnhardt do it to Terry Labonte at Bristol, and it was okay, right?
Look, we've seen it a million times.
But he got black flagged on the last lap.
Listen,
I think Ricky Rudd is still chapped about that, by the way.
Still the toughest guy I've ever met with taping his eyes open.
That's...
Let's get to the schedule real quick. We're going to talk everything this week. Sonoma, Toyota Save Mart. You used to be up there working this week. You have the weekend off now, Mr. Motley.
Yeah, watch him on TV. I haven't seen that race. Well, you always watch a race on TV, even when you're working there, because you can't see the track. That's all you see. So
we got Toyota Save Mart 350 at Sonoma. Then next week we go to Dover, the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400. Then we go to the championship round of our in-season tournament at the Brickyard.
And the final race for TNT at Indianapolis.
Right. Then we end up with the Iowa Corn 350. That's the race at Iowa this year. Kind of fun to see them race at Iowa. And then back to a road course, the Go Bowling at the Glen. So we got another diverse schedule here, Jeff. I mean, road course, the Monster Mile, which has no other, Brickyard, the 3/4 mile Iowa or 5/8 mile, whatever Rusty calls it, Iowa.
You know what else I see here at Dover, at Indianapolis, and Iowa, given the time of the year? I see some really hot, slick racetracks. I mean, I think it's going to be a test of your intestinal fortitude, your stamina, the conditioning.
No, and Iowa, I yelled at Rusty. I drove for Rusty when they opened Iowa, and Rusty, of course, was one of the part owners and built that thing. And I looked at Rusty and I said, Rusty, why didn't you put any dots on the racetrack? There is no visual references on that track when you drive into the corner.
And they just repaved it, by the way.
Oh, did they?
Oh, yeah. And IndyCar guys are already complaining about it. So.
Well, I mean, us drivers always complain no matter where it's at.
Well, you guys don't ever like a place repaved. You'd rather run on potholes and dirt.
I'm an off-road guy. I'd rather run on lots of stuff like that.
Although we don't ever want to see another NASCAR Cup Series race on the dirt. Just want to put that out there. So I'm done with that.
Some people don't. Some people do. We will agree to disagree. When we come back, we'll get into the guys who've been good at Sonoma and get into the odds to win and all the good stuff here on Gone Racin. See you in a second, guys. Welcome back, everybody. Gone Racin, Dude Wipe Studio, Brendan Gaughan, Mr. Jeff Motley. We're talking Sonoma Raceway.
Nice to have you in the studio.
I'm very glad to be back.
By the way, and a day late, happy belated. Can't say what number it is.
Oh wait, apparently am. If you're watching, it's on the screen.
And look, you have a Wikipedia page. So why are you trying? I mean, for crying out loud, your own Wikipedia.
Yes, it was my 50th birthday.
Yes,
and I spent it doing exactly what I wanted. I was with Ryland in the morning. At Adams Motorsports Complex, whatever Troy calls it now, Adams go-kart track. What's really funny about Adams, it's right at the base of Walker Evans Racing. I grew up working in my teen years at 16 Market in Riverside in the IE, and Adams is at the bottom of the hill where Walker Evans is. When I was 15, 16, we used to go down and we would wreck the poop out of each other. All the team would come down, race Adams stuff, and we all knew Troy. And we would just destroy his cars.
What better place to spend your 50th birthday than a place you actually grew up racing?
Letting Troy coach my kid, not me. Troy was
probably.
I got a great video. I might post it later. Of Ryland did not listen to Troy multiple times around the track, and I have a great video of Ryland getting out of his go-kart and doing 10 push-ups because Troy was yelling at him for not hitting the curbing, and he did it 2 times in a row. And Troy pulled him out, and he made him.
That was probably like basketball practice for you and Big John, wasn't it? No,
he didn't do anything with me missing shots. I didn't. If I made it, he made me do push-ups. But Ryland had to do 10 push-ups on the track in helmet, go-kart running, jump back in. It was pretty funny.
Good for him.
But anyway, we were just talking off air, Jeff, about Sonoma and some of the records. When we go to places that we've been to forever, you see these guys that have 20 starts and, some places 2 races, 30-plus starts. And we got guys like Denny or Kyle that have 40 and 50% top 10 numbers. There's not a lot of guys here like that at Sonoma. I mean, even Kyle Busch, he's got 19 races, 9 top 10s, just under 50%. So you look at some of these things, statistically, the best guy is Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott's got 6 top 10s in 8 races. So no wins, but he's statistically the best guy there. He did not look good last week at Chicago.
No, he did not. But I'll tell you, the guy, I mean, look, this is hometown track for Kyle Larson. Larson really runs. Larson's won 2 of the last 3 races here, or 2 of the last 4 races here. He runs well here every time he comes out now. He feels very comfortable here. And I think it's kind of important to point out, Shane Van Gisbergen is a great road course racer. He's a great street course racer. He's a very technical racer. Sonoma is not as technical. as, say, the Chicago street course.
Wait. Didn't you used to yell at me for saying that?
Well, I didn't say I didn't enjoy the races there.
Didn't you used to yell at me for saying that exact word?
Technical?
It was not as technical as...
Well, maybe I've come to agree with you. Is that possible? Gosh.
Just
mark this date on the calendar.
That and Alex Bowman with like 3 top 5 10s in a row.
Still not in the playoffs.
But no, you are right. It is not as technical, which is why I think that Shane Van Gisbergen, even though we're going to call him the favorite here in 10 seconds, it should not be as big of a favorite as I see him being, because yes, he's great, but this track is an equalizer for the guys that don't have the same ability that he has.
Right. No question about that. Although I will say one thing, credit for Shane Gisbergen and his crew, his team, his crew chief. They know how to run a road course, a street course. They know how to run a race backwards.
Yes.
And I know that sounds confusing to the general listener, but running a race backwards is really saying, when do we have to make our last pit stop in order to get to the finish and even leave time for a green, white checkered? Because that's when we want to come in and make that final pit stop. You do not want to wait and get stuck like Ty Gibbs did at Mexico City.
Yep.
So they have done a really good job.
They focus on this. Those guys took this season and said, we are going to be good at these races in this way. And they do a very good job.
And they do not care now about winning stage 1 and stage 2, because there's a lot more points
for the win
to winning the race than winning. And you're not going to win.
He's good enough. He could.
Here's the deal: not many guys are going to win stage 1 or stage 2 and win the race.
Kyle Larson did a couple years ago.
He did.
All right, let's get to the odds. We got Shane Van Gisbergen is your favorite at a paltry plus 150. Then you got Kyle Larson, the other on the wonder in single digits at plus 600. Then we go double digit from here on. Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick, Ty Gibbs 12-1, Christopher Bell, William Byron, Chris Buescher, and Michael McDowell 16, AJ Allmendinger 20, Ross Chastain, Ryan Blaney round out at 30-1. I mean, right off the bat, Chase Elliott, I just said, 6 top 10s, 4 top 5s, and 8 races, 12-1, hasn't won. Didn't run well last weekend at Chicago, but this isn't Chicago.
No, totally different.
So I kind of jumped back on that bandwagon a little bit.
If you can have
Chase Elliott,
if you can have a super speedway road course, that's kind of what we've got at Sonoma. There's a lot of high. You don't hit anywhere near the speeds at Chicago that you're going to hit coming down through the S's at Sonoma, or even actually with Sonoma once you come off the chute heading over to turn 7. That's a pretty
Chicago
good
is mostly straight line braking, straight line brake, straight line hard brake, straight line hard brake, straight line hard brake. This has the undulation of a road course, the up and down, the left and right, the weight transfer. The only thing you have that is that fountain at Chicago. So
you also can very easily get pushed off the course here and lose 20 positions, where Chicago, I mean, you might brush a wall, but a lot of times you can kind of get yourself going a little bit and not lose the spots.
Second page, we got Chase Briscoe and Kyle Busch 30-1, Alex Bowman, Daniel Suarez 50, Carson Hocevar, Austin Cindric at 60, Ryan Preece, Joey Logano 80, Denny Hamlin at 100, and Brad Keselowski at 200. The field at 20-1. These, of course, from the South Point. Kyle Busch and Alex Bowman right there, Jeff. I know you're not allowed to say anything. You're contractually obligated to not say good things about Alex Bowman.
You remember I picked him last week, and he let me down.
He finished 8th.
I know.
He let you down because he got in Hassel off.
Because Kyle Busch finished 5th in the same group.
But, that Kyle Busch, guess who's the best point getter in the last 10 races at Sonoma?
I'm going to say, you're going to say Kyle Busch.
7 top 10s, 6 top 5s,
and
a
I
win.
think running top 5 last week at Chicago should have given them a little bit of a boost as well.
And since he's been at Richard Childress, 2nd place in 2023, and a 12th last year, led some laps. So that's a long odd for a guy that looked good last week and looked good all day last week, had the spin early, and still able to get to the top 5.
Yeah, and the other one, I mean, look, I know it's a crazy number, but you're really going to put 100-1 on Denny Hamlin? I don't care. I mean, that's 100-1.
Denny Hamlin.
I mean, if he was racing a lawnmower, I don't think I'd give him better odds than 100-1.
5 top 10s in the last 10 races. I mean, it's not like he's, 36, 38, 31st.
But if you're finishing 36, 38, 31st, that's because you had mechanical. Well, he was leading the race and blew an engine a few years ago.
Last year, he blew the motor on lap 2. Remember, that was where the
correct.
Yeah.
So when he actually finishes, he runs pretty well here.
No, 4th, 8th, 7th, 4th. So I don't disagree with that. That's Denny Hamlin at Denny Hamlin at 100-1 is a Denny Hamlin at 100-1. It's worth $5 on. I mean, put it down and have fun with a ticket.
Exactly.
I mean, that I will agree with. Let's get to the top 3, and we're going to see. I think, Jeff, in the history of Gone Racin, I remember there was years we had the big three that were minuses on top threes. We've had some every once in a while. I have never in our history seen a minus 400 for SVG for a top three. This, of course, DraftKings.
And I want to bring up, I will say the exact same thing I said last week.
He's going to win, or
he's either going to win or he's not finishing in the top 20.
So don't take the minus 400.
Don't take the minus 400.
Kyle Larson plus 130, Michael McDowell plus 275, Ty Gibbs 300, William Byron 350, Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell all at 400, Chris Boucher 450, the Dinger, Ross Chastain both at 500, Kyle Busch 6, Ryan Blaney 7, Chase Briscoe, Alex Bowman both at 8. Then double digits. Joey Logano, Daniel Suarez 12, Carson Hocevar 15, Denny Hamlin 18, Austin Cindric at 20. First one I'm going to talk about is Daniel Suarez, Jeff. Yes, he has a win here. Other than that, he's got not a lot of good stats.
Yeah, I don't know that I just don't know how that team's going to do the rest of the year. I mean, that's a tough situation. The two guys that I probably like the most with their number up here, and it's not great numbers, but Ty Gibbs plus 300, I think is a good number. And look, Chase Elliott, forget Chicago. This is a different deal here. He's going to run well here. I think Chase Elliott definitely. And look, the thing with Chase, I know he's only got the one win where he won at Atlanta, but Chase runs top 10 almost every week, no matter where we go.
They were just talking on TV about how great he's been running this year, even though it's not. Like I always say, I would have loved that cold streak.
Right. So I think a plus 400 on Chase Elliott.
That's a good number.
3 years ago, he had been plus 400 to win.
He was, yeah. I mean, he was our favorite on the road courses right before Kyle Larson, now right for SVG.
And I think you're going to see that win at Atlanta is going to probably boost that team. I just don't think Chicago is quite the place to right.
But I do like this one. Let's get to the second half of the top threes. Ryan Preece also at 20-1. Then we got Brad K 28. Bubba Wallace, John Hunter Nemechek both at 30. Todd Gilliland 40. Zane Smith, Noah Gragson, Justin Haley at 50. Eric Jones, Cole Custer 70. Austin Dillon 80. Ty Dillon, Riley Herbst, Ricky Stenhouse, Josh Berry 100. Catherine Legg and Cody Ware both at 150. And we don't talk about this much on the show about we don't do commentary, but Cody Ware, really glad he's okay. I'll tell you what, if you don't believe that just tire barriers work, if you don't believe in slowing of energy, the safer wall, the slowing of energy, that's amazing what that is.
And I don't think sometimes when people are watching races on TV and they see all the cars running at relatively the same speed, they truly appreciate how fast they're going. If you saw that fan's video of Cody Ware's car going into the tire barriers, you kind of realize if there's no tire barrier there, then Cody Ware's not there anymore.
That video was pretty bad, And Cody, glad you're good. Heck, it's even cleared to race, which is awesome. So I'll take that.
So let's look at this. I don't know that there's really anybody here that
I was just going to say there's nobody. That's why I'm talking about Cody Ware. Yeah. There's nobody on this page that I am sitting here going, maybe Jeff, maybe we could John Hunt.
The only one that could sneak in there to me is Preece at 20-1. Preece has just been.
I mean, he came off a 7th last week. Maybe he could. We lost our streak of Legacy Motor Club top 10s last week. With John Hunter was right there and then faded right at the end. Matter of fact, lost me my group because he lost to Zane Smith by one spot at the very end. Got passed with like 2 to go or something. I was so mad. But there's nobody on this page that I'm really looking at going.
No, and I tell you who apparently is defeated already going in now is Brad Keselowski said this week. I saw him say on Twitter that he goes, we have too many road courses.
He's been saying that though since they had one.
And he had a couple good runs at Watkins Glen.
The Marcus Ambrose win was one of the most, until recently, that was one of the marquee replays of road racing. Was the Marcus Ambrose, Brad Keselowski sliding through the bus stop. It was awesome. And now he's like, I don't like road courses.
Yeah, and maybe that's
Brad. I love you.
And maybe that could be team owner Brad talking. I don't. But you know what?
Listen.
By the way, the 2 guys that race for him, pretty good on road courses.
Suck it up, Brad. I love you. We love Brad. I'm good. Brad, my buddy.
We didn't even mention Chris Buescher at all, and Chris Buescher's going to have a solid run.
He's going to want it. All right, when we come back, guys, we got the head-to-heads. Of course, are the in-season playoffs. So. We got our head-to-heads.
We have those and others.
And some others this year. Since there's so few left, we have both. When we come back, we'll get to those and more on Gone Racin. Welcome back in, everybody. Gone Racin, Brennan Gaughan, Jeff Motley, Dude Wipes hanging out with us in the studio. And Jeff, we're getting ready to do our head-to-heads. And since there's only 4 in-season tournament guys this week, DraftKings went back and we got some more Westgate, not DraftKings. Westgate has their head-to-heads back up for us this week. There's some decent ones. And here's the first one I like. Kyle Larson, we just talked about how great he is. But Kyle Larson in the last, they set a stat on since the Indianapolis 500, Kyle Larson has like no top 10s.
It's kind of like that whole thing took something out of him.
And you got a head-to-head right now of Chase Elliott, who we both just agreed how great he is at Sonoma. He's plus 130 to Kyle Larson's minus 150. I don't dislike that.
No, and also Ty Gibbs is plus 130 against Larson. Yeah. So that's the only two head-to-heads.
The rest are all minus
we really
110s.
have. Everything else is kind of a toss-up. So I think if you're not feeling the Kyle Larson love right now, and you really think there's a real slump going on there, it's a great opportunity to bet against him.
Ty Gibbs been on a tear lately. You know, I've been high on him. So a plus 130 in a head-to-head with a caliber of Chase Elliott, or a guy that's running as well right now as Ty Gibbs. I like both those head-to-heads. The rest, guys, they're minus 110s across the board. Some fun drivers: Chris Buescher, Michael McDowell. Got some names that aren't always in our head-to-heads, but nothing that's fun worth talking about to bet. So I like those two, and then that's kind of about it.
Yeah, we get to go to our fun stuff.
Let's get to the groups, what we like so much. We will notice when we start these group matchups, guys, this week, I think rightfully so, as I said last weekend, the favorite of the race is not in a group.
He's missing.
I personally think that's the right move on a place like this. So you got Group A is Kyle Larson is your massive favorite at plus 190. Then Tyler Reddick 300, Ty Gibbs 300, and Chase Elliott 310. Jeff, this is an intriguing group today. The problem is I like those three guys. I like them all better than Kyle Larson, honestly.
I do as well, but I tell you, the guy who I think out of this whole group who is racing with the most confidence right now is Ty Gibbs.
I agree.
And I think the fact that he's a plus 300, look, he's good on all kinds of road courses. I really, really, and I know you picked Ty Gibbs a lot. I have not this week. I'm feeling the Ty Gibbs love this week.
Up against Tyler Reddick's tough too. We haven't talked a lot about Tyler Reddick, and his road course ability is no slouch, is very, very good. But my opinion is I'm so high on Chase Elliott right now, even though hasn't won, blah, blah, blah. But I can get Chase Elliott on a top 3 for plus 400. Guess what? He loses to Ty Gibbs. He loses to Tyler Reddick, but he's still top 3. I get 400 for a top 3, and he can still lose to one of these guys because I think Chase Elliott will be one of the 4 guys we're talking about to win. So I would stick with the top 3 bet over this. But
and I think that's good strategy. But we also know this is one of the most important races every year for both Kyle Larson and Tyler Reddick because it's homecoming. You know, Tyler's from up there in Reading or something, a couple hours north of Sacramento. I mean, it's right down the road for Kyle Larson.
So I agree. I do like this group with those 3 guys. It's tough to choose between. But I don't think that Larson should be the favorite personally. I mean, he is, but he hasn't been running that way. Let's get to Group B. Group B has Christopher Bell and Michael McDowell in Group B at plus 265. Byron and Buescher at 270s. Wow, this is the toughest group for me. This is an X because I think Bell is fantastic. I think McDowell's fantastic. I think Byron's fantastic. And but now Byron, he's run last week. Oh my God, was that terrible?
Well, he's gotten caught up in
last week he wrecked in practice and qualifying, and then he did 1 lap in the race and had to park it they missed the clutch or something. And so they're just on a, and he's also given up he hasn't given up the point lead yet, but he's made it a race now.
He hadn't run a whole lot of laps the last couple of weeks.
No. So, I mean, there's our guy, Chris Buescher, that we love. There's McDowell that is so good at this place. There's Christopher Bell. The problem is it's an X for me.
Well, and I'm kind of with you there. I mean, if you said, hey, you got to pick somebody, I like Buescher. But I don't know that I guess because I'm looking at some of these other groups where you got plus 300 on Gibbs, Reddick, and Elliott, and we're going to see some plus 400s before we get finished with our groups. It's such a hodgepodge, and these 4 guys are all clumped right together. I like Buescher, but I don't like Buescher enough that I'm willing to put the units on him.
Buescher and McDowell have the 2 best stats here, let's just say. But they're very similar.
And McDowell's in a completely different race team that has not been done as well as his previous race team so far this year.
So I don't know. I'm with you. I can't bet this one. I love 3 of the guys in it. I think they're great. I can't separate them. And like I said, there's a couple of these that have some huge odds coming up. Let's get to one of those. Group C. You got the Dinger, a massive favorite at plus 170. Kind of bummed about that. Ross Chastain 285, Ryan Blaney 285, and Chase Briscoe 405. Is that enough cheese to talk me into it?
It is me.
Chase Briscoe, 4 races, 0 top 10s, average finish 23.
He also has a win here in the ARCA series.
Yes, he does.
And he's
running on the team that you and I said a couple weeks ago, where I think it was Pocono, where Martin Truex was the man at Pocono. Chase Briscoe came in, had got his win.
3 of the last 6 races here have been won by this race car. And now, granted, it was a different driver. Martin Truex was in it, but I think Briscoe he's getting better and better. I mean, last week throw that out the window. Yeah. But 405, the old saying of "is the juice worth the squeeze?"
The only one that's risky there is the Dinger. If the Dinger shows up like the Dinger can, he's a plus 170 favorite, rightfully so. You know, if he does what he's supposed to do.
But they got to do everything perfect too.
They got to do.
They make mistakes, they're in trouble.
They got to do it right. So I don't know. I don't dislike the 405. It is enticement. I'm not big on Chastain or Blaney in that one, but I do like the Dinger at the top or the Chase Briscoe at the bottom.
So if you feel like it's AJ Allmendinger against Chase Briscoe and it's a plus 405,
you take 405 just because you get the return on it. But
yeah,
I don't know. Blaney's got 5 top 10s, but I don't know. Group D, we got Carson Hosfar, Ryan Preece at 260, Cindric and Logano 275s. Not a lot of spread here. Back to just like Group B was, very evenly matched. I think the guy running the best right now. I think you're looking at me ready to say his name, and I think I could just let you go. The guy that's running the best right there
was Ryan Preece. But here's the thing, though. Hocevar, I mean, great. He made a big mistake, caused a big old pile up at Chicago early in the race, caused some issues there. But yeah, Preece looks great here. But I'm kind of with you. This is like Group B Junior, because I really and I'm throwing the up the X on this because. You know how Logano is. I mean, Logano, he'll go and do nothing, and all of a sudden, boom Joey Logano's leading the race with 5 to go. Cindric, I keep thinking one day he's going to have a good run on a road course, and just seems like
he doesn't do it. Statistically, Logano 4 top 5s in the last 10 races. So statistically, Logano is, and if you believe in the number thing, he was 4th, 17th, 3rd, 21st, which means he should be the top 5 this race, but. You know, like you said, Logano right now struggling a little bit. Cindric, we keep saying he's great on road courses, doesn't perform for us. So we're sitting there going, "Oh, dang it!" You know, we keep talking about it, and we don't get it. So I kind of with you. I got an X. There's not enough spread here, not enough money left to give me anything saying I can take that risk. I don't like it.
I'm in agreement with you.
Group E, Group E again. Denny Hamlin plus 155 to win Group E. Then we got Brad Keselowski and Bubba Wallace at plus 300 and Zane Smith 410. Okay, the problem is Denny Hamlin he's in Group E. Last week he was plus 300 in Group E. This week he's plus 155. That kind of bums me out.
Well,
he's in Group E. Give me some money on him if you put him down in Group E. Come on.
What did I say last week?
Denny Hamlin in Group E. You
gotta take it.
Yeah, but it's plus.
It's not a negative number. If you win it or you make money.
Yeah, but
it's all about cashing tickets,
right?
What
about your guy Zane Smith? You're so high on your guy Zane Smith.
But he's running against Denny Hamlin. Now, if you put Zane Smith over there in Group F, now I might have a different opinion. Zane had a really good run. He won his group last week at Chicago.
He did.
It's a kind of a this is a hometown race now for Zane because there's no track in Southern California.
Bubba Wallace had a good run till he kind of threw his head out the window there. You know, Bubba
he had no tires left either.
And he was just holding on for dear life and just. He did the old driver.
Yes, I mean, you got a guy who hates road courses, another guy who actually, speaking of hates road courses, I remember one time a reporter asked Bubba Wallace what his favorite turn was at Sonoma. He said the one I make turning on the highway when I leave. And I just don't know that Zane.
A 410 for Zane Smith. I mean,
yeah.
Look, here's the thing. He beat Bubba and he beat Brad last week.
He didn't beat Denny.
He's
got to beat Denny. Well, and I think Denny will be better at Sonoma because I think
Denny is Chicago.
Correct.
Yes.
So I know it's only 155, and there's a reason he's the favorite. But if he wins, it's still a win.
Chalk wins. Chalk still pays. Group F, we got Justin Haley and Todd Gilliland co-favorites at 265. John Hunter and Eric Jones at 270. So the head-to-head with the two legacy cars. This one, I think, if you look at this, you got A, C, E, and B, D, F. The 3 BDFs are kind of like,
I'm not as throwing this one into B and D as you are.
Okay, Eric Jones is my favorite on this one.
See, I like John Hunter here.
You like John Hunter?
Hunter, he's been pretty good on road courses. I don't like Haley or Gilliland.
No,
So that brings it down to the 2 legacy cars, John Hunter Jones. And I don't know. I mean, I feel like John Hunter,
top tens.
He ran well on road courses when he was in the truck series. And he didn't run bad last week at Chicago.
No,
he had a pretty good run, I believe, at Mexico City.
He gotten something on the restart, which cost him. He was actually running like 9th and then ended up getting pushed
cost
back.
you even, I believe.
It did because that put him behind me. But
so I just think John Hunter being in this Group F, and I look who's around him, and like Eric Jones is a good race car driver, but I think Eric be the first one to tell you road racing isn't exactly at the top of his game. I just think John Hunter's more comfortable than these other guys are here.
Yeah, I mean, Eric in the last 10 races, no top 10s on all road courses, but he does have 2 here at Sonoma. And you always love to say, though, let me get 7 races, 2 top 10s. Were they back with the old team?
Yeah, was that Gibbs cars or yeah? Although look, these legacy cars are running pretty well.
2018, 2019, 7th and 8th in a Gibbs car.
But these legacy cars are becoming to be reckoned with.
They're starting to get better on that. So I don't know. I would love to say that if I was picking one, I'd go Eric Jones. But still, Jeff, it's just a.
But again, you're kind of eliminating Gilliland and Haley, aren't you?
Yes.
Don't you really kind of put it down between the 2 legacy
I put it
cars?
down between the two bottom cars.
So you just kind of, which legacy car do you like best? You like Eric? I like Nemechek here.
We got exciting stuff in A, C, and E, and boring stuff in B, D, and F. That's basically what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm going to pick something in B, D, and F. So. Or, no, not B, D, and F.
No,
I mean, AC.
No, you don't want to do in the boring category.
I don't want to do the boring category. I'm exciting.
Although I'm probably going to take at least one in that category. I have a feeling when I do.
Well, we got a few more head-to-heads to go when we come back from this break.
We have a tournament.
We have the in-season tournament. Final. This is the final 8 here.
The Elite 8.
That's right, the Elite 8. So when we come back, we'll talk about the Elite 8 in round 3 of the in-season tournament and manufacturer and our picks when we return. Welcome back in, Gone Racin. Final segment here. Jeff Motley, Brennan Gaughan, and we're typing away like mad, getting our picks ready to go for our last segment here. But Jeff and I found out that we did exactly what we hate.
We have a similar strategy.
We might have a couple picks the same here. Let's get to our in-season tournament, the round of 3, which those of us that are used to basketball would call it the Elite 8. We talked earlier in this when they started this, Jeff. They really messed their seedings up. They did not do this right. You have 30. You should have done 1s and 2s and multiples and anyway. But you got who is the giant slayer, the lowest overall seed coming into this whole deal, and Ty Dillon is just the slayer. He is David to the NASCAR Goliaths. He has taken out, everybody's favorite driver. And Ty, I'll tell you what, has he been having fun with this?
Yeah, he's actually having fun. And look, there's $1 million at the end of the rainbow here. And if he can find a way to pick off Alex Bowman this week.
It's a road course. Ty, I said this last week, Ty is better than his brother Austin on road courses. And Ty didn't have a terrible day. He actually was running up pretty decent for a little bit. But now we got Alex Bowman, minus 310, Ty Dillon, plus 215. It's the biggest number we got in a head-to-head. It's a plus 2 in a head-to-head matchup. Jeff, I'm going to be all over this Ty Dillon matchup. Slay him again, TD.
Well, one thing that I find very interesting about this entire tournament, though, we got 8 guys left on the tournament.
Legacy Motor Club is guaranteed to be in the Final Four.
Yep. Combined wins this year of these 8 drivers.
Alex, 0.
You can count those with no fingers.
0. Reddick hasn't won yet.
0 wins of the 8 drivers that are left in this tournament. So, I mean, is it an upset? Are they elite? Is the Elite 8 elite?
Here's what I dig about it, though. You're giving some guys that don't get a lot of TV time, good TV time. The colleague cars, let's start with them first.
Well, and part of that's because we got the true TV telecast that we got Jeff Burton and Larry McReynolds, and this is what they've been focusing on. So if you take the alt
that's
cast,
great.
Right.
You got Zane Smith still left, which another team that doesn't get a ton. Ryan Preece a little bit more, but Ty Dillon, Nemechek Jones starting to get more, but still getting overshadowed a lot. So it's great. This is great for sponsors, great for the teams, great for the sport on that end. Good job. But I'm going to throw out my bias right now. Just be like, hey, that media hat's off. I am biased all in. Ty Dillon, go get him, baby. Ty Dillon just taking down single-digit seeds left and right.
But you're going to pick against Bowman?
You're the one that's not allowed to pick Bowman. Bowman and I are buddies, man. He's my guy. But you're the one that is all.
I know, but now you're dissing on Bowman.
I'm not dissing on Bowman. I'm saying go TD.
Okay,
there's difference.
I kind of say you can't do one without the other, in my opinion. But
the other two, by the way, it's minus 330 for Gibbs, plus 225 for Smith. And then Ryan Preece is plus 175. Reddick minus 240.
Reddick, the 23rd seed, Tyler Reddick.
Which, by the way, if you ever saw a NCAA seed where the lower seed was the favorite by a large margin, that's kind of amusing. But anyway.
Well, I think all the guys with negative numbers by their name, I think they move on this week. Although I do think the Ty Dillon, Alex Bowman one is definitely the intriguing one there.
Our manufacturer's prop, wow, I might just bet it just because the juice is so big on the squeeze. Chevy is minus 310 this week. Toyota is plus 350. Ford in a 3-man horse race is plus 650. Wow, Jeff. It's worth it to put a couple bucks on Ford.
Well, you're getting Chris Buescher. You're getting a Ryan Preece.
Michael McDowell.
You get Joey Logano.
Michael McDowell, Joey Logano,
Ryan Blaney.
You're getting some guys there.
And the guy I keep saying that eventually is going to win a road course race, Austin Cindric. He just hasn't done it yet.
So there is some big numbers here on that. If you really take a 3-man horse race, it should be, if you take it all out equal, the highest one should only ever be 350, 300 across the board. You've got a 650 right here.
That's pretty ridiculous, honestly, for manufacturer. I mean, it's a 3. Yeah.
Championship odds, same thing. You and I both have said this last week. This is from the South Point. Shane Van Gisbergen is still 100-1. Shane is now guaranteed even if we get the 17 winners, he's got 2 wins, blah, blah, blah. But here's the deal. If he can survive round 1, round 2 is in his favor, then all he has to do is not screw up round 3. He can get to the final 4. And Phoenix is a place that road course guys tend to do okay. So I don't know. I mean, 100-1 is if you're looking for me to hedge something, I'm not afraid to put $10 on old Shane Van Gisbergen.
If you're in it, you can win it.
Yeah.
So 100-1 is. I agree.
He's got the same odds as Bubba Wallace, who doesn't have a win, but he's in.
And he's got worse odds than Keselowski, Hocevar. I mean, Kyle Busch. Really?
I mean, right there, I look at that and kind of go, huh? He's got the same odds. There's still some value though. Chase Elliott to me is 10-1. Tyler Reddick is 14. Joey Logano is slipping back to 15-1. There is definitely some guys there that I think are very, very worth the value.
And Briscoe's going to keep getting better.
And Briscoe is going to keep getting better, and he's 18-1. So don't be afraid of that. Last week, Jeff, our picks, we had mediocre weeks, all of us. Sorry.
No.
That's right.
Come on, now give yourself some credit.
Somebody didn't have a mediocre week. And remember we talked about that gap between me and Jeff Motley? For those Gone Racin fans that, actually listen to us and bet what we say, the gap,
it's a little closer.
Although Jeff did do a math error. We always have to check the commish. He had me in the lead. I had to call him, tell him I'm not in the lead. But Jeff, you did get one right. You had Ty Dillon over Brad Kay. Gave you 235 a week for minus 165. Not terrible. I had 2 winners. I had the Ty Dillon over Brad Kay and the Gibbs top 3. I was working on getting that Bowman top 3 until the Hasselhoff.
I was really hoping for a caution on the Cody Ware thing, figuring that there was a really good chance that Gibbs got shuffled out.
It would knock Ty out. Thanks, I appreciate that. But I got 3.8 units this week to the positive. And the pit crew, they did end up getting a couple W's there. They got Busch in Group C. And
that was their only win.
Yeah, that was the only win there. So they got one with the Gibbs in Group C.
If they'd gotten the late caution and Ty Gibbs could have rooted SVG out of the way, they had a 10-1 payday.
They had a 10-1 payday right there. So it was close. But now on the season, Mr. Motley, it has tightened up tremendously. Tremendous with the great graphic of the speeding car.
Yeah, well, Mr. I won with 100 units last year has had to fight this year.
We're just barely a quarter of the way in. I'm at 25 units.
I think we're past the halfway mark.
No, we're 19. All right, maybe we're past that. Whatever, math. Whatever. All right,
now who's got the math problem?
All I got to do is get one of them big ones when I put them. I just got to take the chance on one big one.
I'm just that Georgetown math we got going over there now.
So that leads me to our picks for this week. And Mr. Motley, we always, as we know, we go worst to first here. And so I do have the Pit Crew's picks hot off the press in my hand. And we're going to start with the Pit Crew here. They are not listening to us one bit whatsoever. They have Group A, Kyle Larson plus 190. They have Willie B in Group B at plus 270. They have Joey Logano Group D at plus 275.
Taking the groups, we're not.
And they have Eric Jones in Group F at plus 270. So they have three of the groups that we just said, let's stay away from. And the one guy we said we don't, wouldn't pick him. We think so apparently the pit crew has some insider information that we don't have. And they also have Toyota at plus 350 as their last pick.
No, I don't think that's a bad pick.
I mean, I'm not terrible on that one. I'll take that one a little bit. Me, Mr. Motley, I had not gotten to my last pick yet. So here's what I got. I have a top three. I'm going Chase Elliott top three, and I'm going to steal your thunder. I'm going to absolutely steal yours because I'm taking Chase Elliott top three at plus 400. Then I'm going to go down into Group A and take Ty Gibbs at plus 300 because I can get.
Oh, I know very well what you can get.
I can get both of those.
Mm-hmm.
I can get both of those.
I'm aware of that.
Then I'm going to go two head-to-heads. One traditional. I am going to go Chase Elliott at plus 130 over Kyle Larson. And then I'm going to go to the playoff format or the in-season tournament format head-to-head of Ty Dillon over Alex Bowman. And I'm going to have to just take the shot. I'm not going to go Ford at 650, but I will take the Toyota at 350. It's just it's worth one unit to have. They have enough. Christopher Bell is in a Toyota. Denny Hamlin's in a Toyota. Ty Gibbs we're really high on
Tyler
right
Reddick.
now. There are some guys that we're high on in the Toyota camp. So that is my five for this week, Mr. Motley. What say you, sir?
Well, yeah, you definitely kind of stole my thunder because I have the same strategy that you do when it comes to Chase Elliott and Ty Gibbs. I almost thought, well, maybe I should just do them in reverse. Maybe I should take
Ty in them.
The problem is the numbers are better for Elliott to get the top three.
Yep.
And I think anyway, so I'm going to do the same thing you're doing. I'm going with the Chase Elliott for the top three. And then I'm also going with Ty Gibbs to win Group A at the plus 300. My other picks, my other three they're all in the groups. I am going to go in Group C. That 405.
Just it's too much out there.
Chase
Too much
Briscoe.
out there. I'm with you.
It's just too much to leave that on the vine. And look, I said earlier on the show, I said, I've got Denny Hamlin in Group E. I'm taking Denny Hamlin in Group E. I know it's plus 155. It's not a huge return.
Still
but
plus.
It's still a plus. He's still Group E. I'm taking Denny Hamlin there. And this was really kind of fortified my last pick when I looked at the head-to-heads for the tournament. And I see Eric Jones is plus 120 to John Hunter Nemechek's minus 165. And then I look over in Group F and I see them both at plus 270. And I don't like Haley or Gilliland. So if I got them head to head and I can get Hunter Nemechek at plus 270 instead of minus 165,
you're taking him.
I'm taking John Hunter at plus 270. So
that is solid betting, though. That is looking at the way the odds are written and taking advantage of it.
Just right, trying to do the math on this thing.
God.
Oh boy, we've got a minute to go and a birthday cake.
We didn't get out soon enough.
Are we going to sing this?
We could have BS a little bit longer, so we didn't.
Vinny, are we going to sing?
We interrupt this broadcast for this very important service.
Thank God we only got a minute left.
Oh no! I already.
You do. Hi, Vincenzo.
How are you, buddy?
Thank you.
Where's the crew?
Well, I was going to say, I get to, yeah. All right, let's do it real quick.
The lovely supervisor writer extraordinary.
Of
There we go.
course.
All right.
Oh
Ready?
boy.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh,
Happy birthday, dear Brendan.
thank goodness we only got 30 seconds left of Gone Racing.
Birthday to you.
Thank you very much, guys. The blowout of the candles did not quite work on Sirius XM. Thank you, Vincenzo. For those that don't know.
And then the sprinklers are going to start going off any moment now.
Known me since I was a little boy. Was at the Royal Inn Casino.
Yes, we could reverse the numbers on this.
Yeah, that's right.
We're on the counter.
Love you, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Mr. Motley, to the whole pit crew, everybody back there, thank you for the 50th birthday wishes. We will see you next week, and we'll see if the 50th birthday pays dividends. See you guys.